Hello there, my friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kate in the Nest, and yes, indeed, I am home in my nest, in my home nest. And it's, as I say it, and you know it, we can love when we're away, but we also love coming home. So if you're watching this at home, I hope, as always, you've got something along with you to do, because this is I make videos for you to have on as company, because many of you have told me that. So thank you for joining me. I hope you are well. I was going to stitch because it's Sunday, but actually I've been madly unpacking. We're not long home. So I thought instead I would show you some of the treasures that I've collected. Now, it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag, and yeah, I think I've got a lot, and they've all got a story. So I'm going to start with this. We stopped along the way for coffee on the way home from where we stayed last night. My husband picked me up, and it's the last night of his holidays. So we had a night away, had a lovely dinner because he'd been batching without me and living on sweet corn. So we had a beautiful dinner together, great company, and then we're home right now. So stopped and found this tin. I seem to be collecting tins at the moment. I have collected tins in the past, but I didn't realize that the secret was to look for hinged ones, much more practical than the on and the off. So this one, very reasonably priced. It's got a ding, of course, but does that worry me? Because I just loved, I have to say, loved the look of this one being on my table during the workshops in Adelaide. So there we are. I can unpack as I chat to you. What is in here is some of the cotton that I bought, threads that I bought in at the craft fair in Adelaide, and these are my favorite. So I just thought as we go, it's going to be random, but you might like. I love these Wonderful pearl cottons in the variegated colors. They are not inexpensive, but I cannot resist the boxes. So I treat myself when I go to, like I got some in Melbourne, and I share them at workshops. So each time it's a different set together. I think these are curated by a particular person. I've forgotten the name. You'll be knowing it. This one wasn't in it, but just beautiful to have your cottons. The other thing I picked up, and which is handy for workshops, from the Scissor Man, and I think the Sydney Craft show is still on. It will be closing very shortly, or by the time you watch this. But he had sets of, the Scissor Man had sets of little tiny scissors like this. And you know why I grabbed them? Will I give you a moment to think? Why would Kate in the Nest grab these scissors? You are correct. They are my colours. Not so much all the purples, but on the table they look so cute. They've all got covers. They're nice and sharp. They don't cut fabric, and they can't go on the plane, but that's a nice little box of treasure. I hope that wasn't shiny. But yeah, multiple pairs of scissors just to snip and bring joy in your hands. So hibiscus tin joins camellia tin, and I am on the lookout for those. Now, as I said, it's going to be a mixed bag. I was able to do my workshop in the home and the studio of Gabriella from Miss Rose Sister Violet, and I got to go, as did the ladies, out to her, we'll call it a shop, but really it's her warehouse. And amongst the foraging, oh, look at that, there's a little forage thing that is there by accident. My eyes came across this bag that apparently she used to sell but doesn't sell anymore. But this one was just lying there, and I think her staff harvest it for different things. And she said, you can have that. So look at that. Does that not just bring joy? It's like everything sparkly that you could ever want. Sequins that have been put onto a satin bag and just vines and then dangles. So I don't know what I better just check that I'm in the center. It's not coming out the most beautiful color that it is, but it is just peachy cherry. Yeah, just look at that. So that's just going to be in my nest. In fact, I'll put it on the wall so it dangles. Okay, so I collect bags. Where's the next one? So that one is new, if you like, so it hasn't been used. How do I introduce this? We always sit around the table and chat, and in the 3-day workshop, because people live locally, there's opportunity, you know, for people to bring different threads in, different things, show and tell. I always encourage that because, as I said, many of us don't get to do that at all, let alone very often. So I encourage people to share. So long story short, we had a lovely lady there called Robbie, and Robbie was a filter, and she had stitched, but this was, my workshop was new to her. But she thrived. She was making a garden. On the last day though, she brought in this to show, this little bag to show to everyone, because she, and what I didn't realize, well, let me bring you up. Like, look at this. Is that not the most exquisite garden? And I know I have tapestries, but this one is petit point, front and side. But look at the top. It's a crown, Missy. I was thinking of you. There's a crown. And someone told me that these are jewels. I don't know what they are. Anyway, long story short, I've said that a couple of times and I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm saying it. I don't want to take all your time. It's like a velvet. Well loved. She had been trying to sell it on Facebook and no one had bought it, so much that it had disappeared, been unlisted. And she brought it in to show us, and I said, well, are you parting with that? And she said, yes, but I can't manage, don't know how to sell it when it's not on Facebook Marketplace anymore. So I said, I will buy that. And then she said, well, that is amazing, Kate, because it's got an extra treasure in it. Now, before I show you the extra treasure, I told you that Robbie was a filter, and she also brought in some of her filtered flowers to share with the group. She had a lovely basket of them. We passed them around, and guess which ones I got? I got more than this, but I got to have all the the bright pinky ones. Is that not just a joy? I've already used some on different works that you haven't seen. Anyway, so I popped them in there to remind me of Robbie. And then she said there's treasure inside. Oh, here's another treasure, another one of those, this time with yellow. Are you ready? Look at this. It's all ruched. I don't know whether you can see the detail. Look. Oh my goodness. It's the mirror case, and look at that work. It's flowers in vases. It's actually flowers in a basket. But I just no words. So that was the absolute sign that I had done the right thing, because I just fell in love with that. And then that's in there. And so on the plane, this one came in my bag with me, and I think she will go. I was gifted a bag like this from Christy. I'm starting a collection. I think of Fleur. I think of many of you out there who would adore that. So there we go. A beautiful treasured pouch. So that was from the workshop. What will I show you next? I've got so many different little things. Shall we unwrap this? This was from a town that Gabriella and her husband Tom took me in, I think it's Strathalbyn. I think that's the name of it, and I'm sorry if I've not got that right. I had bought other things, and then this was in the cabinet while I was waiting, and I just kept looking at her because it's a ring holder, and you know how many rings I've got, and you can put them over there. I mean, I might strangle her, but let's have a, I don't want to, but yeah, one ring. It's like a circus performer, but I've got all my other rings, but she's like a ballerina, and on this beautiful tray. So she was a spur of the moment at the end. So, yeah, love her. Look at my nest already. I've got some other vintage bits, but I'm going to tell you a story. I was sitting beside Vanessa in the 3-day. I moved around, but she did say, now, I have something for you, Kate, but you'll need to, this is on the first morning, you'll need to pull up your chair, and we'll need some time to go through it. Now, Vanessa, I've mentioned many times, but this is the moment for you to share my absolute joy of Vanessa's gift to me. She has been following me since I made journals, and she told me that she has made this with such love. It's actually taken her 3 months to make and collect, and I just feel like the luckiest girl in the world, because the thought that has gone into this journal is incredible. These tassels, like, look at this. There's a bee and a bead and sunglasses. In here, well, there's the bow, and there is a musical note, because she knows about my musical background. Isn't it divine? Look at that. Another little bow, beads. This says, trust, love, dream. Trust, love, dream, all the way through it. And that's a message. She said, yeah, this is a one-off. And yeah, sorry, I might cry again. I've been a bit of a softie. So this is a golden book. I didn't realize these came out, but she has blended this as a journal for me. And it is filled with things that she has collected that I can use. So I've got Christie's gift and this one now, and I am well set for my 3-week adventure. It might even be 3.5 weeks in the States. So I'm just going to pack my journals full. But I thought I'd go through this, if you don't mind, because I won't show you everything, but talk about a gifted maker. Vanessa stitches, she makes journals, everything. This is, so these were tucked in here. There's fringe. The thoughtfulness is what is incredible. Every corner. And like there's little safety pins for me to put. So this is a story of Iris, who lives in who lived in New York. I adore New York, but I showed my husband, and he goes, oh, he hadn't seen it, and he goes, she's got big glasses and bangles like you. And I said, well, that's such a compliment, because there's a legend in itself. So this is a combination of the golden book and Vanessa's touches, and the thought that she has put into it just takes my breath away, because it is me. And I just love that by watching me, I think you guys know me. And like look at that to write on. Make your own magic. You guys are my magic. Because look at that. And so this is my message for you. And Vanessa, I want you to know that you're being shared with the world because this is glorious. But the message is for every single one of us. All these tags. My life can expand and grow and then be as big and as glorious as I want it to be. This is true. Grateful for life's generosity. I'm blessed. And she said to me, like, I went, oh, there's a butterfly that I always put at the top because that is my transformation. And you, those of you who've been with me through the hard times, well, I'm here because of the hard times. Look at this. Gosh, I don't want to stop. Look. I crochet, and there they are in the happiest colours. May your life be full of colour. Butterflies everywhere. Guides me to new and outlets. And the recognition and love and just care is mind-blowing. This is Frida Kahlo paper, which I adore. I'd actually reached out to Christina from Christina Creates because Vanessa had made a journal for Christina, and I just fell in love with it and wanted to know how to get these things. Look at this paper. So it is full. Create a life that feels good on the inside. So it's a lesson in affirmation and texture. And look, this is she's dyed crochet and put a flower on it. So I just have to applaud you, Vanessa, and I suppose I'm sharing it with you all because I want you to feel this message as well. What's that? Wonderfully kitschy souvenirs. And this is, you know, how I collect What Katie Did Next books. This is a story about what Katie did next, particularly pertinent. And she's left pockets for me to put a photo in. So I just said to my husband, I'm going to put family photos in there. Katie produced it from her pocket. Okay. And so it goes on. So back to the story and then back to fabric. Look at those pom-pom flowers. Shine bright. Oh gosh. Yeah. The pen. She's bought me a pen and the safety pin has a K on it. And the pen has flowers. Embrace the journey and find joy. So I'm going to take this with me because it represents, like, look at that. Where did she find all of this beautiful paper? She's rounded the corners. And so it is so me. And it will keep me happy. There's another, and maybe this will be the photos from the workshop. Anyway. Look at that paper. My favourite. So I adore you, Vanessa. Thank you. That poem is just amazing. I went through it 3 times on the night that I got it and still haven't discovered everything. So there we are. That's my gift from Vanessa. It was wrapped in fabric with trim. And even the colours, like, look at that of the ribbon. So, look what we can do, folks. Look how clever everyone is out there. So keep doing what you're doing because it is joyful. Okay. to something vintage now. Spare you some tears. I found this at the same shop as the ring lady, and it is silk, and this beautiful embroidery lace work has been added to it. Look at the ribbon and the stitching. That's just twisted. So I don't know what I'll do with that, but it is glorious. It's been tacked on. And what a stunning idea for some of our beautiful pieces. I suppose that could have been a pillowcase, a cushion cover, because now I look at it, or maybe just on the wall. So let's just lay that there for a moment so we can appreciate the beauty. At the same store, some different unusual vintage doilies with that lady in cross stitch. So many of you do cross stitch and you know how much I admire you. So that one is the big one, and the two little ones, and the little ones just have a tree. And look at me buying it even though it's got blue on it, because I love blue. I just can't stitch with it. That's what I said to people. Excuse me. It's just that I can't use it yet. Same store. Look at this. Now, I don't know whether that's a doll's dress or a baby's dress. Obviously, I'll soak it. But again, vintage lace, like a pin tucking, and that is pink, blue, pink, the detail. Look there. Around the sleeves. I love, you might be thinking, if you're new, what will Kate do with that? I will split those seams, and I particularly love using sleeves and necklines. So that is like that. And the buttons, oh, they're press studs actually. Look at that. And I would keep those on there and just harvest. So, but that one needs a really good soak. While we're on the same trail, this one also silk. I've got a collection from there, and they were so reasonable. So if you're in Adelaide, you're lucky to have access to this beautiful. So that's would it have been a dress by itself or an underslip, like a petticoat? Look at the tucking. I do a lot of work that I don't show you. And I still love working in these naturals, and there's a lot more, just know that there's a lot of lace and silk and natural colours to come in my future on here. Just not up to it yet. This was the bargain. This is a again, a little girl's, and it's long. It's cotton, and look at this. It's got a tie back. How precious is that? And then the gathering, all done by hand stitched and hand lace. And look at that over the collars. For some reason, there's a little apricot ribbon there. So this one's cotton. The last one was lace. Oh, it was silk. Sorry, I'm getting carried away with the lace. Just so much fabric and so beautiful. Okay, where to next? I told you I'm mixing it up. I've just looked over here and I've seen, I got it, oh yeah, I've got that. Let's open this together. I had a question about the fabrics that I'm using at the moment, or look at this, it's in an old Fool's Cap folder. To protect it. Is it Fool's or A4? That's an old word that I haven't used for a while. I just saw this and thought it was beautiful. They take the prices off, so I can't tell you, but it was all very reasonable. Look at this. I'll take that off there and put it down. I can smell perfume on it. So look at that. Take my flowers out. A chiffon, or I don't know what it's called, but is that not beautiful? And I will stitch those. I might keep it whole. In fact, I will. I'll work out if there's a right side or a wrong side. Doesn't matter. I tend to like it that way because I can stitch starting there. But I think that's the wrong way. Doesn't matter. I hope you're enjoying those roses. And it's on this exquisite minty green. So I can go over there. I wish you could see my nest. Okay, back to the fabric that I've been using. Gabriella designs fabric, and they are reproductions, and so she has access to all the fabrics that she's collected in her life, and then puts them together, you know, I don't know what she does, and then makes clothes out of them, and has previously made a lot of fabric for quilts. She's got new ones coming out, and I've never really looked much at them until I started to embroider them. And she, oh, let's see, I'll stand up because I can't. I'll make you dizzy. Look at this one. So this is like postcards or bits that can be harvested. Song sheets, etc. And look at the fabric around the edges like that. So it's a good way, I was thinking of, is that the repeat there? Yeah. So it goes upwards. I think all her fabric, she said, is 1.5. It is 1.5 deep. So even the small bit, you get lots of bits. Look at that lace bit there. Up. Lace here. And then it's repeating. So anyway, I grabbed some of that because I don't know what I'll do with it except share it, because I think it would be beautiful. Look at the words. I love the words. I'm always talking about putting words on things, but I haven't yet. Something like Grace. I'm thinking in story pouch. These would be wonderful. So stay tuned. There's a different one. Look at those roses with the cherub. And little swirls and just beautiful cotton. So bought that back with lots and lots of other fabric that you'll get to see. This was another embroidery that Vanessa gifted me to share. She's got some and I've got some, and I always love this type of work. Right, we're nearly up to date on the way home today. This is, you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh because this is pure Kate Eclectic. I'm showing you like it is. Look at this. Look at those pearls. Now, they're not real, of course. It's costume jewelry from the 80s or 90s. But I didn't buy it to wear. I bought it to harvest these beautiful big pearls that are already like they're on rings that I can just open and pull off and do things with and share. It's so heavy. I'm doing that not to annoy you, but just to share joy. I think there are, there's big ones and little ones and middle-sized ones. Even the clasp is cute. So, see? Dingle dangles. Love that. Okay, let's open up this little envelope because I've already forgotten some of the things I bought. Okay, this is all at the one store. Little, oh yes, that's right. Had a special. These are vintage earrings. And I will use them, you know me. Like, I think an earring is great to put on a work. Stitch that, stitch it down in the center, separate it. Can do lots of things. And I liked these because they were like a button. In fact, are they a button? I think they're meant to be earrings, but I will use them on a work as a button type thing. So love those. They will go in my treasure collection, which could be started with this little tin bowl that's damaged. I just thought it was a beautiful shape. So I got that. Oh, it was $7. Vintage. It was on special. So just something beautiful to keep treasures in, and especially, oh, that's the funny thing at a work. I've got some more things. Oh, they're not home yet. From my workshop, need to take more care of what to put the scraps or the orts in, and I thought that would be a lovely shape and look beautiful on a table. Okay, these are those, you know, covers of milk jugs, and I don't know what that is, a boat. It doesn't look particularly old, but I loved that it had the beads on it. And so I got 2 of them. This one's a different shape. What's the picture? Oh my gosh, it's a koala. Oh, not a nice looking koala bear, but there we go. It was more that they were very cheaply priced. I got this. This was in a cabinet. I may have been fooled. It might be readily available, but I just thought it was beautiful and could be the centerpiece of a pouch or something else. Has got, you know, you can see the stitching. Just loved the heart. So there we go. I got 4 of these little, I loved the colour, and I love that they're wrapped up in string. You know, when we're making pouches and things like that, a little square, or some people may like to use that linen as the starting spot. This was just an impulse at the end. Unusual colour, and look at the pattern on there. And again, for pulling apart and having a little bit of dingle dangle. People do say to keep an eye out for costume jewellery, and that one in particular I actually really, really like. So it is, oh, this is the funny thing. I walked into the store and these were the first things I saw. Now, they're glass, and why did I buy them? Because they're hearts, and I thought I haven't counted them, but I could share them at a workshop. Everyone could get a pink glass heart. Or clay, whatever it is, but they're good. So it was a bit of a jewellery and treasure haul. And then this is the thing that I am most excited about. look at the colour of this supper cloth. But first of all, so has it been dyed? You're probably going to tell me it's been dyed. I don't care if it has or not, but look at the work all around the side. Like as a crocheter, as I am, and many of you will know, that's a lot of rows to put around something. And are these flowers fuchsias? Is it fuchsia? They hang down. Mum used to have them in the house where we spent most of our time growing up, and they are all over this piece. Just beautiful. I was just thinking of Zoe then. She doesn't like purple, but these are sort of in that violet and beautiful stitching. Look at the leaves. Ladies, you can probably tell me, is that like one strand? And then all of this cart work. So I think that is a beautiful piece. And if this has been dyed, I actually think, wouldn't it be fun to play around with different colours? Just trying to work out. It's linen. It's just beautiful. Okay, just have a quick look around. It's been sort of a show and tell. I've got one thing left to show you, and she's still wrapped up. This is the first time, well, it's not the first time, but I keep my eyes out all the time for this special symbol, and this is going to be the inspiration for what I'm going to show you soon. As I said, I was going to stitch, but I'm too tired and there's too much organisation to be done. Sorry, I'll open it off here. Can't get the sticky tape done. Look at this. She's got wings that come out in silver. And this was at the same store as when I went vintage shopping with Gabriella. So these close over and then open. I'm calling her a swan, even if she's not. So there we go. I'm going to leave you to get on with whatever you need to with Kate's Eclectic. Oh, look at that. Combination of joy from just being away, gifts and purchases. All sorts of things. There's my ballerina and my felted flower. Oh, that's nice. Work the diagonals always. So thank you. Oh, I've squashed the swan's head. That needs to be in the center. We're coming up to Stitches and Stories in Wisconsin. I've got so much to be excited about, and you'll hear more as we go along. So thank you so much for joining me in my nest. You can see the bowerbird continues, but why not collect beautiful things that bring joy not only to me, but also so that I can share with you. So please stay safe, look after yourself. I haven't even begun to share with you the laces that I brought home and will be using. So have a great start to the week. I forgot to even say it's Sunday afternoon here, and I will be back during the week after some more stitching. Hang on if you're waiting for July jingles, that will come. And yeah, who knows what else I'll be stitching by then. Thank you so much again. Bye.